Hey guys, welcome back to Puck Talk. Today we'll be talking about the free agency signings and who we think are the winners and losers of the trade deadline. So I think what should we start off with? Losers?
Let's do
Yeah, sure.
losers and winners.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So very first loser, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
How's
Kyle
that?
Dubas is
How's
showing
that like for
something.
Dubas right now?
I
A lot of
mean,
Pens fans really saw red when they announced that Jari signing. Like before that, I think they were fine with him. Like he wasn't doing that much. Riley Smith was a good trade, but like that Jari signing for an inconsistent goalie for a longer term too. That was a tough pill to swallow for a lot of fans. I was surprised when I saw that contract because he hasn't been particularly amazing.
yeah, the old Pittsburgh management didn't want to give him 5 years. But Dubas came in and he's like, yeah, sure, take it. He's like the least trust goalie in the league too. Like every time
Yeah,
it's an
like
important game, he chokes.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
I guess that's why Dubas likes him so much.
He likes chokers. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Toronto
man. Like I feel
reference.
like he addressed some issues. Like Riley Smith is a good top six guy, but they lost Zucker. He's gone now. And I
No,
don't know,
Achari,
like
that guy's
it's
good too.
pardon?
Achari's pretty good too.
Yeah, Chari's pretty good. But yeah, I wish he stayed on the Leafs. But like is this team like much better than what it was like last year and when they missed playoffs? Like I
Yeah.
don't see a substantial change. I mean the top six got a little better, but that's about it. I mean
I
I think
mean,
they'll still be like a wild card contender. They might even I don't think they're making the top three in the Metro though.
they signed Graves too for quite a bit of money. So like yeah, I don't think he had a lot of cap space to do stuff, but I don't think he turned the Pens into contender. They're still a middling team. Is that really
Yeah.
what you want with them?
Also, yeah, like they used the Dumoulin money that freed up after Dumoulin expired to sign
Yeah.
Graves. And
Yeah.
Which
Graves
was
was okay. Like he's a top four guy, but mostly second pairing. So I mean, is he really worth what was it, 5 million, 6 million?
it was I thought it
Five
was
million.
let me
Five
search.
million.
It was the term was that. It was like 6 years, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, what is Graves? How old is Graves? Like 27 too?
28. No.
Let's see. He is
We can search this up right now. Quick Google
yeah,
search.
I'm searching up the contract. He's making 4.5 for 6 years.
Ryan Graves is 28 years old.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean
That
he's like he's gonna be like a good defender for 3 years maybe, but like near the end of that contract is gonna be a drag. Like defensemen age quicker too, so
yeah. I mean, his goal was to turn the Pens into a contender. He has not done that, so that's why I
I
think he's
mean,
here.
yeah. Well, let's see what a healthy Pens roster does too.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's the thing,
I
they're
think
old. They're
yeah,
not gonna
like
be healthy. The team is in
Crosby's injury list is like
yeah, like
shocking.
both, and I mean like they lost quite a bit of pieces. Like at the deadline, like Bluger, they lost him. Like a bunch of stuff, Like it's gonna be a. I don't think it's gonna be a bad season per se. I don't think it's gonna be this bad as what we just saw, like this
yeah.
past season. But like
Mediocre.
I don't think they get out of the first round, not with that squad. Even if it has Crosby, but like he's older. And Jari is, like an on and off goalie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just say the losers because he didn't really make the team better. That
Yeah.
was his job, when he got hired.
Mm.
Yeah. All
And
right.
then
So yeah.
next loser. Next loser is
Boston Bruins.
Boston. Okay, let's go with Boston then. Okay, so Boston lost a lot of pieces. That's why I
They
think they
lost
put them as a
Hall, they
loser.
lost Foligno, they lost Bertuzzi.
Yeah.
Rip. They,
Now,
Swayman
they
is
they're done. They basically got like reverse swept by the Panthers. It's over.
yeah, like
yeah,
mostly like I would say Krejci and what's his name?
Bergeron.
Like Bergeron, yeah.
Yeah.
Krejci and Bergeron are done. Like I think they're gonna retire.
Yeah, but
So
like they're saving cap space for them. What if they're counting on them re-signing, but if they don't, then the team is screwed, you
That's
know?
wild.
yeah,
No way.
I
Like
think
they
it's kind of like a bad move on Bergeron's part because like
yeah.
if you want this team to succeed, you sign right away so they don't have any uncertainty or let them
Yeah.
know right away that we're done.
He
So
did this
they
last
because right
season
now
too.
like who's on the market? Like there's still a lot of big name players on the market, but they're old and
Yeah.
Bruins don't want to get older.
Yeah.
So what's gonna go on there? And Swayman is also an RFA still, so we don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I think their indecisiveness killed them.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, they didn't do much at all during on July 1st or anything
Yeah.
around it. I think they're waiting on. I think Bergeron's holding it all up, which is pretty. But like I know he's undecisive, but he has to like.
Yeah, he has to make a decision sooner or later because this Bruins team will have to build its roster according to that decision. Like
Yeah,
I think they signed a bunch of bottom six, bottom four defenders or AHL defenders, but that's all they've done. Like they've
yeah,
lost to quite a bit.
yeah. So like the lack of moves, I guess, puts him as a
Yeah.
loser. Do I move on to the next one now?
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Wow.
They
Same.
lost
Yeah,
like almost basically
How the
everyone.
mighty have fallen.
yeah. It's the same logic as the Bruins. They lost Maroon, Perry, Colton. Who else did they lose? Uh,
Killorn.
Killorn. Yeah, that's a big one. But I'm
Unfortunate.
so that's what five
Belmar too.
forwards gone, six forwards gone. That's half your forward core. So I
I mean,
mean,
yeah. Killorn was a good player. I would say one of the underrated pieces too, like Belmar also left. And he was one of those good defensive forwards, which when I was watching the Leafs series, he kind of annoyed me with all his clearings and everything. But yeah, like they lost quite their about 106 depth, which that was so good in their 2020 and 2021 runs. Like that's disintegrated basically.
yes, every year they're losing somebody. They lost Palat their last year, now
Yeah.
Killorn, and like the entire bottom cast. So now is Brisebois a good GM if he lost that many people?
Yeah. Like
Like,
we have to see the results of this team. Like the top six is gonna be the same, but
yeah,
is it gonna be enough? Like, is Tampa still gonna be a top three seed in the Atlantic? And even if they aren't, I don't think they'll miss playoffs because their top players are just too
yeah.
good. But like, if they don't do well again, if it's like an earlier playoff exit again, then like is baseball in the hot seat?
Well, yeah, I think the reason they lost so many of their bottom six players is because of Janot.
Yeah,
They
you
took a
know
big man.
that was a
They got to make cap space for him. But if I'm Janot, I'm like, you guys traded so much for me. I'm not going to sign cheap. What are you going to let me walk?
Did they sign Jano already? No,
No,
right?
No,
no, they're
not
Yeah,
waiting.
so
yet.
he's an RFA right now. So I don't know
Yeah.
what their plans will be.
And he
Unfortunate.
has all the leverage on them. Like he's gonna be overpaid, and I think.
Yeah, I
He's
mean he was scratched near the end of the Leaf series too. So I don't know what that trade was, if at all. Like it was a very very suspect trade. Like I think Brisebois tried to make it like a Goudreau or Coleman type trade, but
yeah,
like at that point Tampa's roster was just so good they didn't need more from those guys than like they got them for. But now with like Janot and their roster was looking pretty thin this year too. Like they needed Janot to be a bigger piece than he actually was, and that's why it
yeah,
didn't look good anymore.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Brisebois, I think he has one more year. He's one more year,
One more year.
hopefully.
I
One more
mean,
year.
either he does well or it's done for him.
Yeah, he kind of peaked early, and there's been a steady decline since then. I like
Um,
He
I like
peaked
the Coleman
yeah,
good
early,
like even the
steady
Coleman Goodrow
decline.
trades were kind of questionable at the time. I think Cooper really made the trade look better than there actually was with his line combinations.
yeah. I mean, Coleman now in Calgary, he's okay. He's a middle six forward, and Goudreau is
Yeah,
obviously one of the worst contracts like that New York Rangers have had on their
yeah,
cap space. So like
yeah.
Tampa, like I think their window is for sure like done. Like I don't think they're going to be a championship roster
They
the next
gotta.
few years.
Well,
Nah,
you
they
know what?
gotta
That's
come back.
fine. Win two, go to three straight finals. Who cares?
I mean, like they're
Yeah,
going to be like the Penguins though. Like the Penguins have never won a first round since their like 2017 Cup run.
I
That's
think
fine.
Vasilevsky's too good to let them not win a round though.
That's
I
fine.
think Vasilevsky.
They'll
I think
take
Vas.
one round off of some team.
Nah, I think you guys are counting them out too early.
I said,
Vasilevsky's right
bro,
with a
one
decent team.
round. They got one round max.
I mean, if they're a wild
One
card
round
team
max.
or like third of the Atlantic, they're either facing like I mean, I think the Leafs will be first in the Atlantic because I think
Yeah,
they're the best team on paper. But like I think Buffalo can make that jump. So I think maybe like Tampa can beat Buffalo due to the, inexperience that they have. But like Atlantic is falling off pretty hard. Like
yeah. It depends
Buffalo and
on.
Detroit might come up, but like they're not as good as people think they are.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So Boston and Tampa, the two losers, are probably like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they
I
were the
mean,
one of the power they're the two powerhouses of the like
yeah,
two of the three powerhouses in that division, and now they're both kind of, like wild card. I think Boston is still worse off than Tampa because they lost a big star in Bergeron.
yeah. But I mean, we'll see. I think Boston. I like Boston's depth better than Tampa's though. Like the defensive depth especially. Like Tampa, you saw when Chernak went down, right? Ian Cole's
Yeah,
your best right D. That was
yeah. So
horrendous. We pretty much lost the series because of Ian Cole. You know,
Ian
he's not built
Cole.
to play those minutes, you know?
Yeah, but you had that guy that was pretty good. He stepped
Radish.
up. Yeah, Radish.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. But like it'll be fun. Well, the Atlantic will be fun the next year.
It'll be like a lot more uncertain than it was
Yeah.
it has
You'll
been the
actually have
past few
fun
years.
watching the regular season. Jeez.
Sabres. I'm rooting for the Sabres.
I'm actually rooting for Ottawa, Battle of Ontario, first round.
Well, Ottawa too. They're a good team. Well, they might trade DeBrincat. We'll see how that goes. But
Yeah, where Detroit is heavily involved in those talks, so we'll see as that happens.
yeah. Now do
Okay,
you want to move on to the winners?
yeah,
Yeah.
let's go to the winners,
So
and we have two winners, and the first one is obviously the new big boys in town, the New Jersey Devils.
yeah.
They powered up their offense, you know. They're looking pretty good.
Like
Yeah.
they have Hughes coming up on that decor. They lost Graves, but I think Hughes is gonna be better than him anyways.
Yeah.
And they got Tyler Toffoli, and that top six is like top three in the league.
I think Myers locked up on like a
Yeah,
relatively cheap contract.
Jesus.
Like they're gonna be good
8.858.
for a long time. The cap's supposed to jump too. So all these
Yeah,
like $8 million contracts are gonna look great. You know how
yeah, like
McKinnon's contract looked? They're gonna be
Jack
like,
Hughes' contract is pretty good. Jesper Bratt signed a pretty good contract. They got Timo Meyer like locked up too, so
yeah,
they're gonna be a good team. They're gonna be like cup contenders next year. They
yeah,
just need their goalies. Their weak spot is a goalie, but hopefully they can rely on Vanacek to step up.
yeah. I think they're winners just because of the Meyer and Brad contract, right?
Yeah,
They're like really cheap.
and that Toffoli deal was
That's a
crazy
fully
good.
deal too.
That Toffoli deal is huge.
Yeah, I mean, they are set for a long time. Like their entire core is like Heischer, Meyer, Bratt, Hughes, Hamilton too, kind of at a relatively good deal,
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's a
Yeah.
good core to build around. So I think they're definitely one of the winners. And do you have the guys have anything to add for them, or do you want to move on?
no, I think we're good.
I feel like you also talked about it in another video, so I don't think I'm gonna add on.
Yeah. So next
And the
is
second
Toronto.
winner, I would say the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
First day, I was kind of worried because they lost Ryan O'Reilly, Shen, Achari. Like first day, Brad Living signed Ryan Reeves, and I was kind of scared that this is all that was gonna happen. But the next day, back to back, Tyler Bertuzzi and Max Domi, which were huge
That's
acquisitions.
crazy.
Like whatever the Leafs have been asking for, hard nosed hockey. Like the grimy, gritty players. That Max Domi and Tyler Bertuzzi are exactly that. And Ryan Reeves is one of the biggest, goons in the league. So
You,
that's what they targeted. Like you could see that clearly.
you could potentially have a goon on like 3 out of 4 lines.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really tough to play against. Yeah, so they're definitely winners, man. This is like an identity shift too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's like I think this is what Dubas was trying to do for a long time, but he only had one guy, right? Like Bunting can't do it all.
yeah, exactly.
But Tree Living is like you need 3 guys can actually build an identity. One guy
Yeah.
can only do so much,
And
right?
Max Domi, his father Ty Domi, Leafs legend, one of the best, biggest like goons in the history. I think he has like a lot of penalty minutes too. And Max Domi has said he wants to stay in Toronto, and I'm looking forward to what he can do. His peak was obviously 73 points in Montreal, but he also had a good season last year in Chicago
Yeah.
playing top minutes.
How do we feel about Klingberg?
Uh, I mean,
Um,
it's okay.
Okay.
If he has limited use, I think he's gonna be fine. The Leafs already have two defensive defensemen in Brody and McCabe, so I
Yeah.
think those two are like the most like defensive players. And Timmins is a good coming up project, and Liljegren is also good, young guy that both can like slot in.
He's like
So and also they have a prospect coming up in Topi Niemela who was pretty good. He won like best defenseman in the 2020 or 2021 World Juniors. So they have a lot of options back there. They can see who they want to play.
my question is who makes more defensive mistakes, Hall or Klingberg? I
Oh,
think
definitely.
Hall definitely so you improve then because Klingberg's better at offense too.
Because the way the Hall sometimes he couldn't even skate properly, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
He played good defense because he was a big guy and he could block those shots.
Yeah. So I
Oh,
mean,
I
I
forgot. We
think
also have Giordano. He's older though, so I don't know how he's gonna slot in there.
I think Giordano's more of like a bottom pairing D man now.
Yeah.
I think Klingberg, they added some. I don't know how they got all the cap to do this, to be honest, but like they've done it. Now
Yeah,
all
I
they have
think
to do is
Muzzin, LTIR, and Murray gone. Then they use the Murray money to sign Samsonov, and they play Samsonov and just Joseph Hall.
so
I
they
mean
don't have
Joseph Hall.
they haven't traded Murray yet, have they? Or have
Yeah,
they? Or
no.
they
But
planning to?
since Samsonov filed for arbitration, they will get a second buyout. So either they trade him or they buy him out.
Oh wow, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Well, yeah, Murray, I think he's not the guy that you want in net. He's injured too often.
Yeah, he's not available, and that's one of the biggest parts of sport. When he played, he was okay. He
Yeah.
did decently well. Earlier in the season, he was better than later, but he's just not available to play those games.
Yeah, especially when you're cap strapped like the Leafs, you don't have the luxury of,
Yeah, like
having
near the end
him.
of the season, they had to play like these like they had to use these like guys as backups from like a random like nearby universities. Like they had never heard of them. So you need a goalie that's dependable, and that's the biggest part of being a goalie.
Yeah. I mean, the summer of Brad is a W so far.
So far, I mean, I don't see how this can possibly go wrong since they're all 1 year deals. Like the
Yeah.
trade in Calgary went wrong, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully Bertuzzi proves his style of play in the playoffs.
I mean, putting Bertuzzi on a line with Matthews and Marner, that's
He's gonna he's gonna dig the puck out and dish it to the both of them. Matthews 60 goals again.
yeah, I mean, that's a pretty crazy line. And I think they can move Tavares to the wing now, right? Do you think they'll move them now? Do you think they'll
I
make the
think Domi
transition?
is better suited on the wing. I feel like Nyes will also have an opportunity in the top six
Oh
because
yeah,
he
him
played
too.
really well.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, they have a lot of like shifting to do. Like Heath is back, which is I'm kind of iffy about, but
There's that.
let's see what he can do with this roster.
Well, all of his Kerfoot and Hall were his two,
Yeah,
the two things driving him down all the time. So now they're gone.
yeah.
Maybe
Hall, like I don't
he's
know why
fortunate not to
Hall
play
was
them.
getting those minutes, but yeah, Hall is gone.
Those were his guys. It runs through Kyle Dubas's ideology
Yeah,
ran through him,
but
but like now you can't now like they're not there. So like what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to actually play the best player now. Maybe that'll make them better.
maybe it
real.
will. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do you guys have anything else specifically to talk about, or are we good for this video?
We're good. Oh yeah, we should also talk about Philly.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, they're doing
Breer
stuff.
is the GM they've been waiting for like 10 years now.
Yeah, this
Things
is
are
a special
happening in
shout out.
Philadelphia.
This is a special shout out to the Flyers because they're actually making decent moves for the first time in like forever. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I mean, the Hart rumors kind of died out too, but like
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll get traded soon. I really like Breer as a general manager.
me
So yeah,
too. I mean, the drafting of Mitchkov really like ushered in a new era for this team. Like
yeah.
Mitchkov is gonna be their
He
star.
wanted to be there.
I think he's their franchise cornerstone player at this point. Like he's the guy they're gonna build around.
Yeah.
So I think they should just commit to the rebuild. Get rid of like Couturier, Konechny. Like they already got rid of Hayes. While they did retain salary, I think that was pretty good. Like they got off that contracts.
Yeah.
So just keep going in that direction where be bad now, be a contender down like 7, 8 years down the road.
Yeah. I really like them. So yeah, this was just kind of a shout out to the Flyers and Danny
Also, like
Briere.
yeah, next season, next draft is pretty good too with Macklin, Celebrini, and a bunch of other guys. So this is the perfect time to tank because these drafts that we're getting, they're like the 2014, 2013 to 2016 type drafts. Like there's a lot of franchise players available that we can like that you can like build around.
Yeah. I mean, are we good now or
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think that's it.
oh, do we want to talk about Philip Zadina and how he
He's gonna go to some team eventually, and if
but,
he gets his finishing numbers up, then he's gonna do well. That's all.
but he opted out of $5 million.
Why? What do you mean?
Huh?
He mutually terminated his contract, right?
What?
No,
He had
no.
a
Yeah, you mutually terminate it. Yeah.
yeah, so he
Like,
walked off like $4 to $5 million, and now he's not gonna make that back, so he's like betting on himself. I found that kind of cool.
yeah. Wait. Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is with his like underlying numbers too. he was decent. Like he wasn't terrible. He just couldn't put the puck in the net, and that's one of the biggest things of being a forward. So
Like he
like
said in a draft interview.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
So
it's risky, man. Like I don't know if you're like he has one more contract, I think. It's weird that he walked away from 4 million. I found that really weird. That's why I'm gonna
the
talk
thing
about
is
it.
though, like if he's in the minors, he's not making that much anyways. So
True.
like if he gets to like a worse team, like the Anaheims or the Chicago's, then he will definitely get much more playing time. I think the best option for himself is to go to those rebuilding teams
Mm.
like Chicago, so he can showcase his talent.
Yeah. Yeah. On Tampa to get him, but they're not gonna.
They
Trade
might
him.
honestly, they have a history with these type of players.
Play him in the bottom six. They got room apparently.
Yeah, they have a lot of room.
Yeah, too much room to be honest. Yeah,
All
but
right. Yeah,
now we're kind of done for real. No, I think we're good.
Right.
yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, we juked them twice. Yeah, but thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you guys for watching.